Hello, Cancer. Thank you very much for tuning into your love read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Daily Tarot by Renata Lechner. For the supportive oracle cards, I'm using the Magical Spell cards by Lucy Cavendish, illustrated by Jesse Reisch. Reisch is R-E-I-S-C-H. Alright, we're going to do relationship first, single second, oracle cards come out where needed. Cancer. What do we have for Cancer? Cancer, 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 Cancer. Okay. My first thought when I'm looking at this before we get too deep is, in everybody's life a little rain must fall. Although if you look at the right angle, without rain nothing really grows. Like, you need rain as a part of the combination of what makes a seed germinate and grow and other stuff. You know, fertile soil, of course, and naturally the sun. But the point is, sometimes that rain falls harshly. So, I'm getting there's some confusion. That's the first thing I'm hitting with. Your partner has the Three of Cups where they're standing, the Page of Cups with what's going on. I feel like they're showing somebody else some attention, but I just get that it's a social thing. It's nothing else. It's just social. I don't feel anything coming of it. At least not in this read. I mean, granted, it's a general read. But the thing is, your card on the opposite side is the Tower card. You didn't expect this. You're seeing something happen between your partner and this other person. Some type of connection. And I feel like it's very unsettling. You don't know. You're upset. I feel like if this reading's hitting, you're upset about it. Like, it's the Tower card. I'm trying to play it nice, but no, you're upset. You're not taking that well at all. The challenge card for you, I'm noticing, is the Ten of Swords. I feel like if you're not careful, you could easily jump to conclusions, which I'm a Pisces. Pisces is also water, and the reason I'm mentioning that is because when we get upset, when water feels that emotional hit, and they feel possibly betrayed or like somebody's taking their love, that can easily slide into the Ten of Swords. It's if you really see it as a true threat, but I'm noticing it's a challenge card. I'm getting it doesn't have to be there. Just the challenge is to not end up feeling devastated. The challenge is, instead of feeling devastated, to research and find out what's really going on here. You know, take a breath. Look at the system. Look at the situation from the outside, and then do what you got to do to find out what's really happening here. I don't feel like this is going to end badly for you. I do feel like you're having a rough moment, though. Definitely. Whatever's happening, and just to be fair, for some of you, I see, like, not your partner, but the other person crossing a line, and I feel like that might be what's actually causing you upset. Especially if your partner is seeing somebody from the past that they might have had a romantic connection with before, and that person, for example, is giving them a peck on the cheek or something else. To them, maybe it's not that big a deal, but to you, it's way across the line, unacceptable. Alright, because I do see them acknowledging that that shouldn't be happening. With the Hanged Man, I feel like they know it shouldn't be happening, but they don't know what to do. It's kind of like the moment passed, and they're just kind of like moving on, like, alright, the moment passed, it's not going to happen again, let's just move on like it didn't happen. One of those things. Especially if there's a peck on the cheek or a little more intimate peck, maybe on the lips. Maybe, you know, whatever. You know, the situation you're dealing with, you know what it was. So if this is hitting, you're going to know what that was. Your partner seems to know that was not good. I don't feel like they even wanted that to happen. I just feel like after it happened, they don't know what to do about it. So they're trying to pretend it didn't happen. I feel like they're just kind of stuck, like the Hanged Man. Like, I don't know what to do about that. Like, I just feel like they're kind of like shell-shocked. Like, I don't know what to do about that. It's not like the Two of Swords where it's just kind of like they don't want to take action on it. They're just kind of like, that. I don't know what to do with that. That's a challenge card for them, though, because the indecision and the non-reaction or whatever they're doing afterwards, that it's not acceptable to you. You think, I feel like you're coming at this like they should have told that person, no, unacceptable, no, no, no. Is that right? We're going farther a little ahead. We're going farther a little ahead, yeah. We're going a little farther ahead. All right. I do see like you're addressing this. And I honestly feel at some point, and everybody's hitting this differently, but at some point, you're stepping back and you're just kind of having this talk with your partner. And like that, I don't think that should be happening. Whatever happened there, it needs to not happen again. I feel like you're also addressing, like, this isn't like you're not so upset that you're running out the door, but you're addressing it. Like the Hierophant, one of the things the Hierophant has is he also brings forth the discipline and saying, you know, that was a step out of line, that's unacceptable, and the repercussions is like they're getting called out on it. I feel like your partner still doesn't know what to do about this, because you also have the Empress saying that you love this person. I feel like not only are you addressing it, but you're also pushing forward the Empress energy. I love you, I care about you, you're my family. You know what I mean? I want you in my court here, my court of love, whatever you want to put. But that can't be happening. Your partner, I've got the Two of Swords here. It's a past. To them, it's done. They don't see it happening again. They don't plan to really... For some reason, I feel like a lot of them don't plan to address that person again. Maybe there was some alcohol involved in some situations. So they're kind of like... I feel like they're stuck between a rock and a hard place because they really don't want to bring any more attention to it. They don't want to bring that person forward to them again. They just want it to go away and stop. But they're also not wanting to make you unhappy, and they don't want to, like... I don't know. I just feel like they don't know what to do with this. Because they don't want to... They don't want it to go any farther, but they feel like addressing it with that other person could cause more problems than good. They seem to look at it like it's done. It's not going to happen again. Let's just move on. I see definitely an action here. Now you feel heard after the conversation. You know your partner's kind of deer in the headlights about the whole thing. Doesn't know what to do about it. Whoever they are. You're looking at the situation like there's a lot of value here. There's a lot that has been grown. You have a lot invested here. A lot farther you plan to go with this situation, like just being with your partner in general. And to you, the fact that you brought it forward, your partner clearly doesn't look... To you, I feel like your partner clearly doesn't look like they're going any farther with it. Even though they don't to actually do about it, that you do realize, or they did communicate with you, that nothing's supposed to happen with that. They don't expect anything to happen with that. They think it's done. You seem to be pushing more like, well, that other person... You need to make sure that other person realizes that wasn't right. Either way, you feel like you're winning out because your partner's not happy about it, but they definitely don't want to promote that situation. And I feel like the victory for you is realizing your partner wants nothing to do with that situation. They're not looking to go forward with that, whatever that was. I feel like you're back in your confidence zone. You're back feeling like everything is the way it should be with the Knight of Pentacles. There's a lot of value here. Feeling very happy and content, and like you have a lot to be thankful for. I do see, though, the Emperor in your partner's spiritual spot. They're trying to... The Emperor a lot of times makes me feel like it's a person seeing the bigger picture, trying to look at it from everybody's angle. They want to make sure you're happy with them. I do kind of feel like they're going to tell you whatever they feel like you need to hear. But they also definitely have no intention of going towards that other person in any respect. They don't want to talk to that person in any respect to say, hey, that was crossing the line or anything else. I feel like that moment made them very uncomfortable and they don't want to address it. I feel like they might be telling you, you know, if that next time they come across that person, they'll bring it up or something like that. Meanwhile, they're also expecting to completely avoid that person because they don't want to talk to that person now. because this situation just got really awkward for them. So now they don't even want to look at that person, talk to them, whoever they are. So they are definitely telling you what they think you want to hear, but I also feel like they're going to avoid that other person completely. They don't want anything to do with that person. That is their version of strength. They could go... No, I feel like they're avoiding the other person. Whoever that person was, the strength is making me feel like they're avoiding them. And they're just bowing out of situations that person's a part of. They're just going to avoid that person until the whole situation blows over. One of those things. And the grace is there. It's like the most graceful. Like, they don't want to deal with it. They don't want to bring it forward. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to deal with that person. I feel like that's another reason you got the victory card here, because you realize that. I feel like you're getting that. And if they don't want to be anywhere near that person, still a win for you. I feel like you're fine. All right, I think we're done. All right, that is Cancer for relationships. Let's do single Cancers. I feel like that one went well. Comments will tell me later, I'm sure. I feel like that one went well. What do we got for single Cancers, if I can pick up the cards? Well, we have the Ten of Cups pop up as I picked up the deck. Let's see if that holds true. Messages for single Cancers. Empowering messages that give them the truth of a situation to help them decide what they want from it. Single Cancers. Empowering information for single Cancers. Empowering information for single Cancers. Stop. Well, we got the Nine of Pentacles. It's in the same ballpark, sort of. That's it. Alright, let's do some empowerment cards here. Something's falling right out here. Isis Inspiration. Apparently we're going to put that in the environment. We're going to have more cards. We have the Imagination trying to fly out. Let's see if it comes back up or down. Okay, Imagination did pop out though. Didn't come out again, but Imagination. I don't know. I'm not really connecting with it right now. So if it comes back around into the forefront, I'll let you know. But otherwise, I'm not really connecting with it at the moment. So let's just keep going. We're going to start with the history. Okay, that's good. It's a good place to start, the history. The Hierophant here... I feel like there might have been some misconceptions in the beginning. This person may have seemed more harsh or a little bit more rigid than they actually are to you in the beginning part. Whatever context you seem to see them in the beginning, I feel like they were in kind of like battle mode for whatever reason. If this person's a parent, they were taking care of their kids were getting a little out of line, and they were just kind of like, you know, get in line type attitude, like knock it off. Or if it was business, they needed to get a hold of the group, they needed to get a hold of the situation, and they were kind of in battle. I feel like when you came across this person, they were in battle mode. Like, they need to be strong, they need to be clear, they need to be precise to get things back in line. Granted, general read, but that's where I seem to be. Because I feel like this person, there's a misconception. Like, you did see a piece of them that is the truth. They can snap to it when they need to, but that's not what that's not their majority essence. That's probably 30% of who they are when they need to be. I feel like it's actually a good quality. But if you interpreted it as if that's how they usually are, that's 90% of them, what they are and how they are and what they're like to deal with, that would be a misconception, because it's not. It's like a third, less than a third of what they are when they need to be, when they have to be. And it's only when they feel like they have to be. Now, I feel this person seems to be, you know, they're coming closer as, like in the beginning, I don't know, it depends on the situation for you, how much they were interested or coming towards you. More in the current state, I feel like they're not only interested, but they feel like you're going to go the same way they are. They seem to feel like you're interested too. And I feel it's a little, you have like a very weird vibe here. Kind of like, should I or shouldn't I? Kind of wanting to, kind of not sure if that's a good idea. Especially, I think because it's Cancer. You got the Empress energy at the top with the health card. You could fall for this person. It is kind of going there, but it's more about, you're kind of like family oriented. You're kind of like community oriented. Does this person fit in my life, or are they a disruption? I don't want a abrasive person becoming a major part of my life, but are they not as abrasive as I think? Are they actually just strong when necessary, and is it actually more of a benefit more than a detriment, what I saw in the past? Because you got health with the Empress. Very caring, very loving, very looking at the bigger picture. That's the Emperor and the Empress seem to feel that way to me. But the health is telling me it's seeming more like a healthy balance, because this person is not always harsh. They can be, they will be when they need to be, but it's not all the time. Maybe like a third of the time, a little less is kind of what I'm feeling. You don't know where this is going, but you got the Eight of Cups. You don't know if you don't take the trip up the hill. There's a lot here, but you don't know what's really going if you don't take a trip into the darkness and find out what's really out there with this situation. You have high hopes, but you got to take the journey to really find out is what I'm getting. And you're looking at this person like, you know what, maybe they are. Maybe they are. And it's funny because you got the Knight of Wands in your thoughts. You're thinking about moving forward. But where you're standing is the Two of Swords. You're not sure if that's really something you want to do. You're very conflicted. You're like, half a dozen one way, let's do it, let's get it going. Half a dozen kind of like, I'm not sure. Which you'd think the move forward would run out. But the not sure seems to be like, it's holding from the past. It's holding from this. And you're just, I'm not sure. You're totally aware that, you can't find out unless you try, and it's worth trying. It's worth finding out. But the Hanged Man in the center again is really where this Two of Swords is actually connecting. And I don't think that it's not that you don't have the opportunity, but the way things are going currently, there's no reason to jump the gun, I feel like is a better way to put it. Because things seem pretty good where they currently are. You're sort of dating, you're sort of seeing each other, but it's not a relationship. But it feels like you're sort of seeing each other, but it's not a relationship. It's very quasi to me. Kind of like you're hanging out every now and then. Almost like some of you I feel like work with this person, whoever this is, and you're hanging out with them on lunch, but maybe they're not the only person you're hanging out with on lunch. And it's enjoyable. The Nine of Pentacles is telling me it's enjoyable. So it doesn't seem like you're under the gun that you have to do something to move something forward. What I'm getting here is the other person isn't really overly pushing either, but they got the Six of Wands with the Isis inspiration. They're feeling like this is a victory. I feel the energy of that slam dunk energy. Like this is going to go when it's time to go. This is going to go forward. They're just kind of taking it slow and enjoying the moment for what it is. The Isis inspiration next to it is like they're right on course with how this should be going. They're feeling their intuitive connection, in my opinion. They're not in a rush, but they are enjoying the moment as well. It just seems like this is fitting at this point. Even though it's not jumping forward, it does feel like it's fitting. The next two cards that come in are Justice and the Good Cheer. The Justice makes me kind of chuckle because I feel like there's just like I don't want to say it's a cold talk, but just like talking out how it works and how it doesn't work and what's good and what's bad. It doesn't feel like there's a passionate moment with like huggy kissy or anything like that. Just feels like a talk like, well, this works good, that could have a problem, we could work that out. This is also a good thing. This is another asset to our connection here. I think we could go a good direction here. This could work out for us too. It just feels like very by the book, just the facts, ma'am. One of those things, just the facts, ma'am. That's how it feels to me with that justice card with the good cheer. The good cheer next to it, I feel like that's very important for that card to be there because it's kind of making sure I realize it's not a bad moment. You're not feeling it's a bad moment. They're not feeling it's a bad moment. It's really just talking it out. How do you two really match up and measure up just outside of like romance, but like how would your day-to-day lives match? How would this match? How do your energies complement each other? I think it's funny. It's interesting. I think it's interesting. It's not a bad talk. It's actually good. It just seems so, I don't know, cold to me. I don't want to say cold. It just seems very linear. Like very, it's not exciting, but it's not bad. It's got good cheer here. You're both happy to talk it out. I just don't feel any bursts of passion. Now here, the way this is ending is the Emperor and the Knight of Pentacles. The two of these coming together, it just feels like a slow, steady start. You're slowly moving together. You're going the direction you want to go. You're both looking at your situations. You're starting to slowly move your situations together. Oddly enough, I don't really know if you would say it was a relationship beyond, like, I don't feel like it's an official out there we're together relationship, but the way you're moving forward, it does feel like the very beginning of one. And it's like you're starting to interweave your lives very slowly, very carefully, very gently. I just feel like you're starting to interweave your lives and you're starting to tie things together. Because it feels like you're going to come together that way. Over time, it's just kind of like, I don't feel like you're starting off like you're officially in a relationship, but over time, it's just going to be like other people are going to be like pointing out that you're clearly in a relationship, even though you haven't officially put it out there. That's where I feel this going. And that's pretty much it. All right, I think we're done. I'm going to wrap it up there. I hope that helps. Of course, if you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email. jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.